Welcome back into the Coach's Corner here at Life University. My name is Billy Mangum. I'm the Sports Information Director. There's an empty seat next to me. We're going to have the head men's soccer coach, Alex Pama, and the head women's volleyball coach, Steve Wilcosky, over here shortly. Just wanted to give a little recap. Haven't been back here in a while, but it's Tuesday once again, so trying to get the traditions back started. Had quite a pretty crazy week on campus. A lot of teams running around. We'll go with volleyball first. Kicked off the weekend with a 3-1 win over Shawnee State, which was a huge conference win for them, and then battled against University of Pikeville, had a 3-0 win on Saturday. Liz Mann tied a career high with 27 kills in that match on Friday against Shawnee State. Actually ended up winning Mid-South Conference Volleyball Offensive Player of the Week this week. Had Marin Black. She had a great weekend, won Defensive Player of the Week from the Mid-South Conference for the second time this season. Then you went to the men's soccer team, had a convincing 7-0 victory at home over Georgetown College. Great win there. Really inspired the boys and really looked like they're turning the year around. Even things up at 1-1 in the conference heading into this weekend, but we'll get more into that. Then you switched to the women's soccer team, had a tough 3-2 loss at home to Georgetown. Took an early 1-0 lead and gave up a couple goals in the second half, and tough stretch there. And then men's club rugby earned a 31-0 victory over Mystic River. Very important win for them. Got a couple extra points for the amount that they scored and the shutout. That was really nice to see at home. Also had swimming and bowling in action this weekend. The men and women's swimming teams both competed well. Men's swimming earned second place in the Emmanuel Invite, and the women's team had 2 NAIA qualifying times, which means they will automatically compete at the national championships that come up in the spring, I believe. And then the men's swimming team had a couple B qualifying times, which means depending on how many people get in, they could or could not, but amazing stuff to see that out of the first meet of the year. Bowling finished 7th in Kentucky this weekend in 2 Mid-South Conference events. The men were the only ones to compete. Jawan Wallace led the way there. Had a pretty outstanding tournament, a couple top 30 finishes against some good Mid-South competition. So yeah, we've had a lot going on here at Life University, but we're really glad that you guys can join us. And when we come back, we'll have the 2 coaches sitting down next to you. We'll be right back. And welcome back into the Coach's Corner here. As you see, we have the coaches in front of us. Coach Pama, we'll start off with you. Pretty great 7-0 win. Got a lot of people involved. Nobody scored more than once, and I don't believe anybody had more than 1 assist, and just about every goal was assisted on. So talk a little bit about that. I mean, statistically a true team effort there.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Billy, and it's wonderful to see that the guys are, made it a team effort. We executed the game plan from start to finish. That was a first for us this season. We changed our style, our formation a little bit throughout the season as we got to know the guys a little bit better. We moved some things around, trained a little differently. We came close in the first conference game against Cumberland. We were 45 seconds away from a win there. Unfortunately, had 2 slight errors that cost us that game, but I thought it was a very good performance in that game as well. But against Georgetown, we put everything together, and we had a great team effort, like you said. Every player contributed in that game, and as I told the guys after the game, there wasn't a single player that did not contribute. Everybody contributed that got on the field. The guys from the bench were very solid as well, so glad to see that everybody contributed.
Awesome, Coach. So ahead of this weekend, you guys are going to Campbellsville. Should be a tough matchup, but got a chance to go positive in conference play here. What are your thoughts heading up to Kentucky?
It's another challenge. It's a road game, a second road game in the conference against a good team. Campbellsville's always been traditionally one of the stronger teams in the conference, so a little tough start of the conference season for them, but we certainly will not underestimate them. So we're looking for the second W, set ourselves up in these conference games for the conference tournament, get as high as possible seed, if we can. Our aim is, as we said at the beginning of the season, is to win the conference tournament. So obviously W will be very important.
Awesome. So over to women's volleyball, Coach had two pretty big Mid-South wins this weekend. Talk a little bit about your team. Obviously, Liz Mann and Maren Black are playing some great volleyball, but that doesn't happen without Liz getting set or Maren being in the right position and her team around her. Your team is really playing team volleyball, like we've talked about. The pieces are starting to come together for you guys. So talk a little bit about how you feel your team is doing and your thoughts about this past week.
Absolutely. First off, congratulations on a great conference win. So I think the theme, and listening to Alex, is this: the whole team's contributing. Yes, we had some awesome accolades with Liz and Maren both having stellar performances. But what I was most impressed with is we had a true freshman come in, Carla Narvez, and she had 13 kills, hitting over 300 against Shawnee State, which was her first career start. And to see that performance from her and stepping in with us dealing with a couple different nagging injuries and from Gabby Ferran, who's usually in that position, was just an awesome relief. It added a ton of trust in our team as well as our coaching staff to know that we have that depth, and I'm hoping to give her tons of confidence to know that she can rise to the occasion, play in big moments, and performing the way she did. So the conference, it was just a great battle up at Shawnee. It's always difficult to travel 9 hours on a bus up to Portsmouth, Ohio. We had a chance to take in the city a little bit because we went up a day early and get a historic perspective of the city, which was kind of cool. Helped us with bonding. Then traveling down to Pikeville, which is a 4-hour trip from Shawnee. The cool thing about Pikeville is every single person got to play in that match and contribute. We came out really, really strong, and it was just great to see, especially with some of the family that traveled to get to see their daughters play that normally don't get that opportunity. I'm hoping they enjoyed that. I know it was great for us as a coaching staff to see everyone having fun and just doing well and finishing matches, which is something we've struggled with.
Yeah,
so it was a good weekend.
Yeah, I thought everybody played well. Everybody, was connecting on all cylinders, and it's nice to have a little fun road trip. I mean, both of you guys, you go on good road trips where you can really. I feel like you get more team chemistry on a road trip than you do with, if you have a home heavy schedule. They're not on the road together. They're not staying in a hotel together. They're not eating together. They just kind of show up and they play, and then they each go back to their separate lives. So, Coach, talk a little bit about your schedule you got coming up this week. Unfortunately, we have a pretty tough volleyball conference, so got to go back on the road this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if it's unfortunate. I would rather play really great competition, so I'm fortunate for the opportunity. We get to play the University of Cumberland's this week at their gym, which we lost here in 5 after having the lead in the 5th. So, as far as I'm concerned, we get a little bit of revenge. In that match here, we won every statistical category, but still came up short. So I know that the girls are hungry to rectify that loss and get it back and split with them for the season.
Awesome, Coach. So a little bit of a question for both you guys. We're going to zoom out here so we can get both you guys in frame. Just how do you guys feel about your teams? I would say we're well over halfway through the season. You guys are just getting into conference play. Alex, your guys more so than your women, Steve. You guys have had a chance to see your team in action, see them when they're down, see them when they're up. What are your overall thoughts about your program and how you think things are going?
Well, we knew we had a tough start of the non-conference games. We played a lot of ranked opponents or teams that are in the top 30, top 40 in the United States. So We did that on purpose, as we talked in previous shows, because we needed to quickly understand what the weaknesses, the strengths were of the team. I think we've pretty much done that, the staff and I, the coaching staff and I, in terms of finding out, okay, what is the strength and the weaknesses of the team as a whole, each line, and then each player individually. I mean, we found out some things. We had some players coming in late due to visa issues, and you know, we're on a quarter system here at Life University, so they start the fall quarter, and you know, we still have to figure them out, and we figured those players out as well, and in the last couple of weeks, and that helps us. So where we are right now, we are where we need to be. We should maybe be 2-0 in the conference. We're 1-1 right now. The aim and the goal is still the same, very much the same for us. So we want to win this conference championship. So I think we're where we need to be. Identifying the weaknesses, the strengths, and then you know, I think the next couple of games are interesting for us to see if we can build the momentum from the first 2 conference games. I thought we played rather well. Can we do that now? You know, the next 2 or 3 games, but still a relative new team. So we have some injuries, some guys that come back from injuries. So fitting those pieces in will be interesting. But I think overall, I mean, everything we expected from this season, we met pretty much our expectations. We also, I think, in terms of you know, identifying the team and learning about the team, we've done that as well. So it's been a productive season so far, but again, we got still a ways to go with some ambition that we have left on the team and in the coaching staff. So.
Awesome, Coach.
Yeah, and we're fortunate to get to play everybody twice in the conference, unlike soccer where they get one shot until the conference tournament. So, you know, we have a stack of notes on the teams we've played. We get every video of our conference, so we get to do a lot of analysis and breakdown and make adjustments based on that. The great thing is in our gym, we're just getting better every day. The competitiveness has not dropped off at all. And in years past, I don't know if that's been the case. We've had weeks where it's just hasn't been the standard that we want. And I don't know if that has to do with maturity and leadership, but it's just been great to come into practice. It's been fun. Not only are we getting a lot done, but I think we're enjoying the work. And that's always a cool thing when you can do that. So we get Cumberland's on Friday, then we turn around and we're at home on Tuesday against Georgetown. When we played Georgetown on the road, we competed at a really high level with them and had chances to win. So last year we beat them here, so I'm hoping we can have a repeat performance of that going into the rest of the conference.
Awesome, guys. Well, I greatly appreciate you guys sitting down. Any last thoughts? I mean, it's going to be, I believe, next week before you guys have another home game here. Got a lot going. Or no, longer?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, from my perspective, it's been really fun to kind of see your teams grow, both of you. Your teams, you know, first couple games, still trying to feel each other out, you know, figure out where things are going. And it's really fun when you can just kind of, as a coach, you know, just kind of sit back and know that your system's working and know that, you know, your players are going to go out there and perform. So any last message to anybody out there?
Well, I mean, congratulations to Steve, and it looks like they're peaking at the right moment, are starting to peak with a couple of good wins, and congratulations to his players, individual players. Listen, man, I so enjoy watching her play. She's such an amazing athlete. Anyway, and also congratulations to Josie on the women's soccer team, who got, for the very first time, Player of the Week. Enjoyed seeing that, and of course our forward, Cherry Jules, who, just like last year when he got selected on the second team all conference and picked up a couple of Player of the Weeks, got a Player of the Week this 2 weeks ago as well. So congratulations to those student athletes. I think it's amazing to see them shine in their sport, be the Mid-South Conference for women's volleyball, men's soccer, women's soccer. I mean, it's such a tough conference to play in. I think the basketball, it's also one of the top conferences. So to see these kids excel in this conference is a achievement. So kudos to them, congratulations to them. It's well deserved.
And come out and support all our athletic teams. It's a fun environment. We have some great pride and passion for this university and what we do. Tomorrow night, coach's show for those of you that can make it at Hoyles. Starts at 5:30. Looking forward to it. Billy, I'm not sure who we have this week as far as coaches.
It'll be men and women's wrestling and swimming.
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys don't know Coach Patrick and Coach Omi and Coach Ashley, it's a great opportunity to get to know them, and they are just incredible people. So hope to see you all there.